Well, here's an interesting story coming down from Mexico, and it looks like they got some vigilante groups there because they got so much problem with crime, and the police are interwoven with the crime. So now they got vigilantes, and actually, to tell you the truth, it's getting very confusing because people don't know even if the vigilantes are the drug cartels or what the hell's going on because it's getting really confusing. But anyway, they got vigilantes. They're way down in, not anywhere near border towns in near the United States, but way down near Acapulco. If you're looking on the map, all this here is tan color is Mexico. This pinkish red color is the United States. And this is Guatemala way over here in the green. And it's over here just a little north of Acapulco that the vigilantes are checking up on the crime that's being perpetrated by police too. And it looks like this is what went on. The vigilantes arrested 12 police and the former director of public security in a town after a leader of the state's vigilante movement was slain on Monday, this past Monday. So he goes, the vigilantes accused the ex-security director of participating in the killing of vigilante leader Guadalupe Cabajal, 28 years old, on behalf of local organized crime groups, because they got the drug cartels, in Mexico are really interwoven with the police. And honestly, there's it's not as acute as in Mexico, but actually, drugs and big city police seem to get interwoven too, pretty bad too. But anyway, the vigilantes said they have detained the director of the public security because he is involved with criminals. In other words, the drug cartels, and he knows who killed their vigilante commander. So, this is interesting because this is something kind of brand new. And I don't know if people are, I'm not familiar with Mexico, but I know the Acapulco area is actually pretty high up, on the global rating for crime. And is one of the most, where there's a lot of crime in that area, big time. So, so they got vigilantes fighting back. I mean, if people are fighting back themselves. But it's pretty confusing because you really don't know, somebody could say they could be in a drug cartel and say they're a vigilante. You don't know what's going on. It's major confusion. But anyway, they're trying to sort it out. The groups say they're, the vigilante groups say they're fighting violence, kidnapping, and extortions carried out by drug cartels. And, the police are in Mexico. Depends on who the hell it is. I mean, it's very confusing. But concerns have surfaced that the vigilantes may be violating the law, the human rights of people they detain, or even cooperating with criminals in some cases. So, it's a pretty damn confusing mess, You don't know where right and wrong is. Is it in, it's like the border, it's like the blue line of the police in Mexico. There's drug cartel mixed in that. Then you got these vigilantes come up, and you don't know what the hell's involved in the vigilantes. And they could be going overboard, violating people's rights too much because they're not trained, So, it's pretty much a big mess, but it's interesting that it's gotten so bad that you got civilians actually, vigilantes trying to uphold the law and protect other people in general. That's what it seems to be going on. But the officials in the area, since they're very sensitive over their lack of ability to enforce public safety in rural areas, have largely tolerated the vigilante groups. So I guess overall, the vigilante groups in Mexico, for the most part, even though I'm sure there's a lot of gray areas and confusion going on, are probably doing a pretty good job. So, let's hope, people figure out who the hell's right and what's wrong, because actually a lot of times it's not that simple. There's a lot of gray areas, and obviously there's a lot of overlap between the criminal element and the ones that are supposed to be forcing the law. So there's a hell of a lot of confusion going on. But interesting story that there's actually vigilante groups growing in Mexico because there's such a problem that the police, the watchers are actually involved in the drug cartels, and people just, they just can't handle it. That's just still going too far. So they're going to have to fight back and, There's another reason for having a civilian force, I guess. We got vigilantes in Mexico. Anyway, interesting.